Welcome to a very special episode of Lauer Power, where we use adversity as motivation alongside Chad Lauer. My name is Chad Evans. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. We invite you to like and subscribe. We need more subscribers for our YouTube channel, so please do so before we get started. I also want to say thank you to our friends at the Plumbing Outlet in Cole Township, as well as Cole Region Winery for sponsoring us for a while now, and we appreciate the support. And yeah, 2024 was one heck of a year.
I'll tell you what, you're going to get to hear the highlights of the podcast. I encourage everybody who hasn't had a chance to listen to every episode, which is likely our entire audience, to tune in, because we have the best snippets of our clients sharing their adversity and their motivation of 2024. And I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy hearing from them and kind of getting a little bit of a better understanding about the types of guests that we've had. And hopefully you're as excited as we are about 2025.
And sit back, relax, unless you're in your car, pay attention to the road, and enjoy the show.
I'm healthy now. This is January 2024. I would have never expected to be where I'm at today, but it is all in thanks to the community members and the prayers and the support that I received at the time that I was in the hospital and even beyond. The community support has been amazing. And one of the things that I realized is I just never took the time to look back and think like how much support existed within this community. And I'm truly, truly incredibly grateful. And I knew from the moment that I woke up, one of the things that's going to be a driving force behind me is I can't wait to give back. I can't wait to give back the thanks of all the things that I was so grateful to receive in the ways that I can. Sometimes, as a small business owner, sometimes we don't have the financial backings to provide like the way that, some people are able to. But I know that through the time that I spend with the kids and the people, I can give back in my own way.
We had coworkers, right? We had coworkers, doctors, nurses, physical therapists. We had people that we worked with that we took care of in the hospital. Like that were there for weeks. You'd work with them and then they were there in the bed, right?
Kept showing up. You kept coming in.
Yeah. What else was I going to do? I had a job. People were looking up to me. My staff was looking up to me. So I wanted to work as hard as they were working. I knew that they were doing 4 or 5 12-hour shifts a week, right? I got to do as much as them, or I got to do more, right? I got to make sure that they're okay. I got to make sure that they get a break, because I am responsible for them. I have to lead them. I have to motivate them to come here every day. They've been doing this. We were doing it from March of 2020 to like August of 21.
What is it like working at NASA? And can you tell the audience some of the things that you're doing right now?
Yeah. What is it like? It's honestly more than I ever could have imagined it to be. Like, I think what you said about being curious is right on. I get to be curious every single day, and I show up and I'm challenged by people who are way smarter than me, and I get to ask them questions. And and it's just very exciting to be surrounded by this culture of innovation and forward thinking and inclusion. So today, for example, one of the projects that I'm working on is our Moon Trees Education Initiative. So some of the folks listening might be familiar with NASA's Artemis program, which is the series of missions that's going to get humans back to the moon and eventually to Mars.
You can't breed an entrepreneur. I think there is truly some psychological makeup, some risk-taking ability, salesmanship, creativity that all have to be mixed in this amalgamation to create what people see as an entrepreneurial success.
Unapologetic. I wanted to be able to look a parent in the eye and say, you have a quality teacher and I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. I'm not looking the other way if there's a problem. So I had no trouble confronting an issue if and when that were to occur. But it became important that we did that. And this goes to your point, Chad. There's reasons that you jump in on these. First of all, it's because the person themselves needs the help and wants the help. But the second reason is everybody else is watching. They know what's going on. They recognize when someone may not be as strong. And it's, as an organizational culture, well, are those administrators, is Harry Matthias going to ignore that behavior, or is he going to confront it? Let's see.
There's so many people would never admit that they dealt drugs the way you just did. Why? Why are you willing to admit that and own it?
Because we got to be real. This world is full of so many fake people out there trying to present themselves with this high on a pedestal, untouchable character that they've never done anything wrong. And that's not what people connect with. People want somebody who's real and who's been through things and have experienced life's adversities and have overcome them, because then it gives them hope that they can do so themselves. There's people that are out there that hopefully will listen to this, and I hope that when you hear this, that you understand that you have the ability to change your own course, and it doesn't need to be anything super dramatic. You just got to take the small steps day by day to make that right choice. You
do not need a college degree in 2024 to be successful in anything outside of like medicine or, even teaching. I'm seeing that you can get like teaching certificates now in certain states. But like there are like literally thousands of remote jobs available right now. If you just look online, and I'm not saying they're easy jobs, but there are thousands of jobs where you don't need to leave our area and you can go get them, right? It could be a sales job, right? I'll do a free sales training. I don't care. It could be cybersecurity certificates. It could be, there's all of these opportunities that I think it's a mindset of like, oh, I have to drive somewhere to work because that's who I am, right?
Yeah.
We need to change our mindset a little bit, right?
It's always the most negative people that are the loudest, no doubt about it. But if we are going to call ourselves the underdog, which we are, let's do something about it. Because everybody roots for the underdog.
Dude,
how did I get into politics? Was also related to the business. One day I'm sitting there going through my mail, and I got the county tax bill, and it had gone up considerably. The property taxes were crazy, and I thought, well, it really pissed me off. And I thought, well, I can do one of a couple things, just bitch and like everybody else would do, and end up writing a check or do something about it. And I decided to get involved and ran for county commissioner. And funny story, I told my dad, and he wasn't exactly high on the idea, but we were successful, and ended up certainly not me alone. There was a lot of folks involved, but ended up lowering the taxes in Northumberland County.
Vision and the ideas, somebody just has to make them a reality, and we're here today to try to say, hey, this is our vision. I just told you what I'm doing in my business. You just told us a little bit about how you're going to try to, maybe not pivot, but in addition to making videos, provide more entertainment options in the area.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to pivot. And I'm going to be straight up, I'm transparent. Like in my line of business, AI is right around the corner. So I do have to pivot. Not immediately, but I do have to look for the future and what are my options. We do have, with Tamkis and I, we do have the Shamokin Shirt Company,
yep,
which is just the tip of the iceberg of what we really want to do. I mean, we've talked about, how can we really capitalize off the Shamokin Shirt Company? What can we do? Like, do we need a storefront?
Yeah.
Do we need to put a storefront? Do we do drop shipping? Do people do subscriptions to Shamokin Shirt Company and get like a different Shamokin shirt once a month kind of thing?
Right.
I don't know. There's all kinds of options.
Yeah.
But that's very small in terms of what we're trying to do to create a positive look on Shamokin. And that's really what it is. It's just small business owners, also like-minded community individuals with a positive outlook on what this could be. It's true. Shamokin has good bones. It has good bones to it.
Yeah.
And we just got to literally build it back up to where it once was, and it's not an easy feat. I mean,
and I think just having that feeling of giving back, seeing the smiles on the faces,
seeing him go nuts because I called him like, BJ, I got us involved in this. You got to show up here next week. And he's like, dude, I can't. I'm like, nope, you got to be there.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. And I mean, I love that saying, all good, because BJ absolutely hates it. Because I'll call him and be like, hey, I got us involved in this, or I talked to this guy. We got to get some veterans here to hunt. Well, what are we going to do? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's all good. And it just drives him nuts. So, I mean, Chad knows. Like,
It's never all good.
It's always all good.
What are you
Never
going to do?
been once all good. It's
all good.
always been panic, at the disco at the last second, and then it works out.
And it's all good.
But it wasn't all good when you said it was. It was all good after I fixed everything.
It's all good, man.
You guys fight like a married couple.
Now I know I have a cancerous tumor in my body, and I just have to continue to live like it's not there, right? And I tell people this all the time because the surgery and the pain and the recovery and all that stuff, like that didn't bother me as much. But I had my first panic attack after that. Now, I don't know anybody listening if you've had panic attacks, but they are the worst thing. Like when I've been dealing with health, like I would have like debilitating panic attacks to where like I didn't want to go out. Like I would be so scared to like go out to dinner, like it was just bananas. So I had to work through that, and it really made me realize that, some people use substances to kind of deal with their mental health. Maybe that's why they drink beer, or maybe that's why they do drugs, or maybe that's why they do whatever. But I went through therapy. I was on, medicine for it. And I was eventually able to get back to living a normal life, but it was freaking scary.
But you had to work through the process to get
Dude,
there.
have either of you had panic attacks? It's okay if not.
I don't know if I
have.
did or
Okay.
not. I
You've ever had one?
don't think.
So anyway, anybody who's listening that's had it's just crazy. Like I had to go to the ER. I thought I was having a heart attack. So anyway, after months of kind of dealing with that, I was able to kind of get back to being able to function normally. But it was scary. And I want people listening to realize that like that's mental health, right? There's so many different mental health disorders. And a few years ago when I started on, if you haven't listened to the first episode of the podcast, I started a chemo drug called Weloreg, and it drops your hemoglobin to like 9. Most men are like 15, 16. So my red blood cells were, very low, and I would get dizzy. So because I was getting dizzy, I was like, I'm going to pass out. So if it was hot out, or if I was like, on my feet too long or whatever, I would then start getting panic attacks. So I'm like, I'm going to hit the deck. Who's here? Who's going to save me here? Right. So again, just very, very tough to deal with. So I'm telling the folks listening that we realize that mental health is a real thing. I'm actually wearing my CMSU community support walk shirt here for a reason. But yeah, listen, we all deal with tough stuff. I want people to realize that at Lauer Power, a lot of folks will deal with some sort of mental health in their life, and there's tons of help out there. Okay. So you don't need to turn to street drugs or any of those other things to try to deal with it. Let's connect you with professionals that can help you through it. If you have to get on medication or whatever, somebody that's going to help monitor that and get you the support that you need. Because if it wasn't for my family and for, my support group and my team at work, I might have been, in a really rough spot. So just wanted to do that. Our leadership topic of the day was being aware of mental health and the challenges that it causes. And again, it's all just about checking on each other, being able to, have an open mind that somebody might be dealing with stuff, in their lives that makes their day-to-day a little bit more difficult than others.
I think step one is not being afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, I'm okay. And I think a lot of people are afraid to ask for help.
So have you seen those billboards that have said it's okay to not be okay? Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, sure.
That's the message we need to send, right? And listen, we got to take care of each other. A lot of drug use and a lot of alcoholism and a lot of struggles are there from mental health disorders. And some people, I think, just aren't aware of that.
It's your own personal philosophy. It's how you look at things in life. And life is nothing but a series of reactions to anything that goes on, right? And how you react to something is based on your informed mindset, your thought process. And I don't care who you are, where you started. People can give me all the excuses they want. I've been through it all. And I don't say that from a competing standpoint, because I believe at some point in time in life, everybody has their trials. And it makes me shudder for people to want to start comparing their trials. Well, you don't know what it's like. Well, you don't know where I've been. You don't know where I come from. So stop it. Mm-hmm. Right? Everybody has their cross to bear. Everybody has their trials. How did you react to it? What's your thought process? What's your mindset? Who do you hang it with? You know, so what do you read? What do you listen to? What are you putting in you? And that really is what it comes down to. I've mentored a bunch of young people in my life. I've coached swimming and basketball. And one of the first things I tell people is, if you really want to succeed and get somewhere, first of all, look at your circle of friends. Look at who you're hanging with. So
it's not the song, it's the singer.
Oh,
have you heard that
you've
before?
done some research. It's not the song, it's the singer.
Yeah, have you heard
Elaborate.
that before?
I have not.
Okay. So actually, Michelle Christiana, who I just hired, kind of shared that with me. And what I mean by that is, so every day we have a choice as to kind of how we want to approach the day, right? And it's more about how you approach it, how you talk to people, how you communicate, how you perceive your life, whether it's positive or negative, than it is the actual thing that's happening in your life, right? And I think that we need to remind ourselves of that sometimes, meaning it's not the song, it's the singer. You can accomplish whatever you want as long as you kind of deliver it with positivity and aren't afraid to fail or what people are going to think about you, etc.
Are you a business owner, a leader, or an aspiring achiever looking to turn life's challenges into powerful fuel for your success? You've come to the right place. Get ready to unlock the secrets to turning life's hardships into your most powerful ally. Your hosts, along with our incredible guests, will help you tap into your own Lauer Power and guide you towards the success you've always dreamed of.